Hello, this is Chiak. We are back again with another set of Tangle Tower where
It's
have
an
a look at this
illustrated
room.
book about birds.
It's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Bird book. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seed of the Tantum amica. This? Okay.
A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Okay.
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
Math equations.
Don't look at them for too long. You'll give yourself a headache.
Okay, so obviously the important part of this is here. Think about question mark.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
Okay.
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
Oh, so you're a the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
Books about nature? Sure. Why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
The search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
As long as you're not planning to do anything that needs to stay away from flammable objects. Just
Is
saying.
that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
Oh, it's a Tangle Tower.
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Can we shake it? I want to shake it.
Hey, look
It's
at
a
that.
model.
That would make an amazing...
Okay. Okay, I got an achievement for that.
What's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Sure, why not?
The archive's downright poetic. Books
Okay.
about space.
They're relatively untouched. Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
Books about geography.
Skip. Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Good excuse.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go back because we have, I'm assuming, new things we can ask about.
Do you know who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time.
Okay. Well, that's it for that. Okay. Let's... Here, so I want to go here before we head this way. Oh, we have another person here. Okay, let's have a look around
There's
first.
a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
Oh.
It's a big stone dais.
Biggest one I've ever seen. First one, too.
Okay, this entire thing is stone dice.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
Oh,
I'm
this-
guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rotate dials until all 4 hands in the correct position. Okay, honestly, I
You
do
set
not.
the puzzle?
Oh, no, sorry, I don't know what
Just
puzzle
gonna
is.
rest my brain.
We're not on that yet.
You ever see a mushroom that big before?
Not in real life.
It's Tangle Tower, or at least it's the
Okay.
a giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
AKA a greenhouse.
Okay, is that it? It looks like it. No curiosity. Okay, this leads to the greenhouse, excuse me. Alright, well, let's talk to this person.
Oh, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
But we can ask you more questions.
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so? As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite. Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the Fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the Fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled, that much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
Okay.
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Freya Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky. 314 cases solved.
300?
And 14.
Sorry.
Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely. Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective.
Okay. Oh god. Let's see.
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed, too. You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps? Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then. Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking. The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told? Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
Okay.
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that.
Okay. Okay, I think that's the only conversation we can have with her. So someone is apparently supposed to be in this greenhouse here. Because she's talked about an occupant. Oh, whoa, okay, hi, sir. I did not see you there.
Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers. Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening.
Okay.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Pot of fruit with a hard gemstone-like skin. The soil in the pot is an unusual blue color. Okay.
A little chart
click
of...
on the man.
Actually, I have no idea what it's about. Kinda reminds me of a periodic table. Kinda reminds me of a
Okay,
periodic...
there's nothing else we can say about it.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Let's see if we can ask him about it now that... I'm assuming that's all we can talk about.
Is that fruit?
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little, too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, I don't think there's anything more.
It's glass, but I can't see through it.
Total oxymoron.
I am not.
Okay. Time to talk to...
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitz Fellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
Why was that even a question? Why are you so tall? Genetics? Genetics is... Unless there is something else going on.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA, sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener.
Okay.
I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
Okay. Well, here's time for the statement.
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Okay. Well, time for more of this.
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell. She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, "Put all the troublemakers in there." Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind. Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, it was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Okay, well, that went over his head.
Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation. Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
Okay.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details. How odd.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her, after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly. Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form. That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it. But it was empty.
Fun story. Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried, in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks. This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem-stony.
Sometimes. You never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit?
You look at it.
Okay, so that's it for him.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the Fellow Tower.
Okay,
This
so...
could be interesting.
Alright, so going back to her, we want to... Because I got a feeling there's going to be so much of this stuff, so I just want to get back.
The people here are surprisingly materialistic. considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth? I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers. In secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
Okay, what was that? Right, that's it for here. I'm not gonna. Sorry, I just want to see if there's anything. Actually, can we?
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Fiona Fellow. We met her. She's one of the suspects.
Okay, this is to give an idea for us. So, this is Fitz. He's with Flint and Emily. She's the heir apparent. She died. Penelope is the one we have not talked to. Sorry, Poppy. Penelope is another. Okay, so she is part of their generation as well. Can't remember what they said. Who said they didn't get along with who? Okay, but we do have rooms that we can look at. Okay, so this is Fifi's or Fiona's.
I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse.
Scientific formulas, probably. I'll openly admit I have no idea what any of it means. A new suspect! Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge. Fifi's got something pinned up here.
What is all this?
That's gotta be Flora.
Looks like Fitz.
Who's that?
Not sure. It's Detective Hawkshaw.
Who's that?
Not sure.
Okay, so there's people we haven't met yet.
And that's you, Sally.
What? I do not look like that, do I?
Okay, so this was already placed up here. Interesting.
Is Fifi trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Maybe. Did you ever try that? Maybe it works.
Okay.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
Look at the family tree and the drawing board, okay.
A pretty ornate window with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space. What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like
Oh.
something.
Is it a clue?
Yeah,
Nope,
okay.
it's just a bunch of notes
So the
about her
entire desk is... Oh wait, what's this?
It looks like a microscope. A big one.
It's the one she made?
Can I touch it? I'm not sure this is a microscope.
Horizontally slide them to the correct positions. Okay, hold on. Oh, maybe I want this one. Because the... Maybe not? Okay, obviously we want to connect them somehow. Okay, like I can see at the bottom we were trying to make a key. Oh, maybe the really big one. Wait, this is the massive one. Not that. Not that. Okay, there we go. I think I got that. Okay, I just need to... So maybe I don't need to... This front position, I don't need to bother with it. I don't know, because like I'm thinking this, right? Yeah, this is not doing anything for this. There's nothing happening here. Unless I'm combining two things together. Does this do anything? No, this just makes everything smaller. It's just this part here that's throwing me off. Like, that's way too big. But this doesn't match the sizing for that. Man, I know, I'm having a hard time with this one. I'm just realizing it's now here's, okay, so this one's minus. 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus. I mean, if there's anything that needs to be minus, it would be this one here. Maybe? Oh, it's just like...
That's the one.
Okay, there we go. Thank God.
Hey, not bad. Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
A well-used book resembling a diary. It's locked with a strange metal device. Okay.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You couldn't pull off a pipe. Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
Nah, I've not heard of that band.
Oh my
Are
God.
they any good?
Oh, no, sir.
Homemade posters. This one's about
Nah, I've not heard of that band. That's a whole lot of books. That's a whole lot of books. Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
I don't know. They just seem old-fashioned to me.
Oh,
Plus,
so
they're kind of dusty.
I was about to say they're like going to be incredibly dusty. That's going to be hard to clean.
Boxes of stuff.
Okay, so I think the main thing we're supposed to get is in this room is this. I don't know what's Freya's room, which we have not been in here. So, oh wait.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Small photograph of Freya's abstract painting. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck on it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges.
Painting supplies. Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight?
This is, I don't know.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate.
I mean, unless there's a lamp in here for that produces. Oh wait, what's this?
It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer, maybe.
Oh,
They're
God.
not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Oh. Arrange the papers to find the clue. Okay. I was like, there's multiple things I'm looking at here. I'm just wondering, does the color have anything to do with anything? It almost doesn't look like... Yeah, I'm not sure if the colors mean anything. It's the only one that really fits. Okay. Yeah, I think I have it. Okay, just adjusting things. So small to biggest. If a green. Small to biggest in what way? Green, blue. What is this color? I don't see this color at all. We have pink. Wider brushes at the end. Till you find the clue. I'm sorry. Small to... Well, there's these two here, so it could be either one. Oh, maybe this is the handle? No. Oh, okay, these are the handles. Okay. So we have a pink handle. I mean, there's two of them here, so it could be either or. I'm going to assume this is tallest and smallest. Okay, so I think this one is correct because it's small and it's an orange handle. This one here is green. That's all we know for that information. This is a pink handle with a cone brush, let's call it. Blue. And this one here is a flat brush. This is green, but there's no other signifier. But this one here needs to be blue. I'm assuming by this brush shape it is this one they're showing. I mean, we could switch these, right? Because they're both the smallest size. Oh wait, but this non-orange handle. Okay, never mind. Right. So I think right away with this one, if this is the smallest with an orange handle, it's the only other cone one is here. So like this has to be it, right? That's what it seems to be telling me.
There we go.
Perfect.
I keep forgetting I need to click up here.
What was in the box?
Just a photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
A photograph of two young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair. The photo has a large piece missing. It seems to have been ripped off. I'm gonna assume puppy?
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
It's a fish, I think?
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight? Do you think this was always supposed to be a bed?
I don't know.
No windows either.
Is there something underneath?
Do you think this was...
I don't know.
No windows
Okay,
either.
she doesn't say anything else.
Brushes.
They're clean, but they look pretty well
Oh,
used.
sorry, I skipped it, but I'm like reading faster than the...
That painting.
Why?
Maybe
Okay.
Freya
The
enjoyed.
atmosphere of...
Hang on. There's a smaller version
It's
down.
a photograph.
Oh yeah, we already saw this. We saw this.
There's no natural light in here at all.
I like it.
Okay. I think that's it.
Do you think this was...
I don't know.
No windows
Okay.
either. It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
Okay, anything with the...
Drawings.
What's that one on the
Oh,
left?
damn it.
Looks like
He-
two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
A drawing of a man standing with a woman in a garden. He's holding a red rose. A drawing of Fifi. A drawing of detective Hawkshaw. Okay. I think that's it for Freya's room. That's also the end for this set, so... I mean... Slowly we're getting more and more evidence here, though I still don't know about the statue. I mean, there's so much we need to look at. Workshop, and there is someone here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the set here for some other time. I guess we'll we'll continue on next set with the workshop here. We still have not talked to all the suspects. I need to go back and re-question people, aka anything to do with their with all the new objects I found and what comments they may or may not have, and what where it may lead us to. Either way, thank you for liking if you liked, thank you for commenting if you commented, thank you for subscribing if you subscribed, and thank you for simply clicking on this video. Until next time, guys, see ya!